I recently read an excellent article by Ryan Law on the 4 signs of terrible content marketing, and I want to share those with you, plus give you my tips to overcoming each. Let's go. So, as I said, Ryan Law published on animals.com with a Z this article about the 4 types of terrible content. I wanted to share those with you and talk about ways to fix them because I see them so often out in the wild through our customers' content, things that we do sometimes for ourselves. And it's just human nature to fall into these traps. But I think talking about them, exposing them, figuring out how to fix them will help all of us. So, the first one, unexpected self-promotion. This is the idea that a customer comes to your content to have a problem solved and instead is served a heaping plate of product benefits that they never asked for. Right? This is the article that's headlined like 4 ways to fix your front porch, and then you come and it's just product benefits about some cement that they're trying to sell to you. The way to fix this and apply that to your business, apply that to your content, and just think about how you can mistakenly fall into that trap at times. The way that you fix it is instead of trying to sell your product, and we've said this a million times over the course of the show, simply talk about your customers' problems, okay? This will get a bigger audience attention to begin with and will allow you to build trust over time that eventually will lead you and you lead your prospect to wondering, I wonder how their product can help me solve this. And that's when you can come up with that answer. But until then, focus on their problem. Every time you go through your content, ask yourself, am I talking about myself or am I talking about my audience or my customer's problem? The one caveat to this, the one solution to this is to be clear. If you do decide to do a self-promotional, product-centric piece, tell the audience in the title, title the thing, how to solve X problem by using Y product, right? How to create content every single day by using herd pods, right? Like something where I'm telling you, I'm not just talking about your problem. I'm going to explain why my product can fix that problem and offer that value in return. It's okay to do it on occasion. Just make sure you're being clear that you are doing it. Number 2, non-actionable writing. Ryan calls this descriptive writing, but I actually think, descriptive writing is great writing. So I don't like that term. I like non-actionable writing instead, because the problem here comes when the writing is only descriptive, right? If there's no actionable advice available for the consumer, then the article ends up being worthless and will likely cause them to bounce from whatever the video, podcast, etc., without further engaging. So the way that you fix this is ask yourself why over and over and over as you are creating the content. I could just tell you the 4 different things that are wrong in content, right? Instead, I'm saying why and how do I fix that? Why is it wrong and how do I fix it? And offering that to you as a nugget as well, so that this is actually actionable advice. When you continue to ask yourself why and you make sure you address how in the summary, you can give the audience some practical advice. Number 3, over-reliance on data. Data is our friend as marketers. It justifies our jobs. It allows us to show objective growth towards a goal, but we can sometimes have a tendency to rely too heavily on data. In fact, 66% of marketers claim that 93% of their audience has a checkout time of 6.2 seconds when data drives at least 43% of a given article or piece that is 580 words or less. Okay, obviously I'm kidding, but parody aside, I sounded like I know what I'm talking about, I guess to an extent, but I gave you no actual helpful information to work with. I just said numbers. And so much like being overly descriptive, and the last point, if you are overly reliant on data as a crutch, that can allow us to avoid having to answer the question how or why for the audience. So how do I fix this? Do the legwork to follow the data to its logical conclusion. So go down the rabbit hole, figure out what is the actual meaning, what is the intent of this data point, and how do I use this in a way that will actually fix a customer problem. It goes back to the customer problems. Then share that conclusion concisely while only using data to salt and pepper the point rather than allowing it to be the entire dish. Also, don't forget that all of your content should be persuasive in nature. So the story is still the key, even if you're using data to help tell it. Be careful with data. Number four, the fourth error that we make in bad content is being overly confident or critical as content marketers. I know you've probably seen this. Content marketers are not usually experts in anything except creating content, right? And that's okay. I mean, that's me. I'm making fun of myself. But that is your job and you're great at it. And hopefully this show is helping you get better at it. But there's a tendency to become overly critical in content about how things outside of our circles are done, or the current state of the industry, or some hot take on a current event, or how sales is managing this, or demand gen people do that, or, you know, cold sales people do this. And none of that criticism is backed by actual operational experience. So 2 points here. Number one, avoid giving negative criticism or takes in order to drive clicks. It will help you drive clicks in the short term. Okay, negative sells. But while it does that, the relationship you build to your audience won't be one of value. Instead, you may be viewed as an outsider who naively criticizes people that they don't understand, or worse, an insider who's overly pessimistic about the world that you all share with your audience. The second thing I'd say to do, so avoid negative criticism. Number two, try to get some skin in the game. You know, get your actual hands dirty, do some operational tasks, get into the business, and then provide your opinions when you feel informed enough to do so based on actual experience. This will go a long way with your audience. Huge shout out and thank you to Ryan Hall from animals.com for the inspiration. Check out their site if you want to learn more. I hope this was helpful to you, and we will be back on Monday. Take care.